All right. Welcome back to another episode of In the Green Bets. Justin here with
Howdy.
Grant. Not a bad week for us on the few bets we made with the Zurich. Not a tournament that I really cared a whole lot about.
Super bad, and it actually didn't turn out that bad. We actually did okay, but I think we should almost just say thank you and move on because that tournament had the makings to be a massacre. Xander gets another wonky win, right? Like we should have saw that coming. Like Xander's one win in the season is going to be the pairing whatever tournament. But I think I only watched actual live golf on Sunday. I don't think I watched the first 3 days. I was just keeping up on my phone. But when you have guys that are that good, I mean that's exactly what can happen. Good thing we covered that matchup because we told them like, hey, these guys are just as good as anybody in the field, so you should just put money, right? So and they kind of proved that. So that was good. We had that right.
They kicked ass. Like they only won by 2, like you were getting ready to talk about, but like that was a massacre until like the last 4 holes.
Yeah, that game was over the whole time. Besides Billy trying to cheat his way into it.
Mr.
The margins, I got away from 1-stroke and 2-stroke, and I did the playoff, and then he missed the putt and gave me the 2-stroke at the end. Like it was like such a tease. It was kind of like that Scheffler Masters thing where he's like missing putts. But either way, like I'll take a kind of pretty much a push week and move on. Like I'm not going to complain about that.
Yeah, and we're gonna follow that week up with another weird week. I don't exactly understand what the tour was doing with their kind of like scheduling. They take it down to 2 WGCs now, but they partner with the Euro Tour or the DP World Tour, whatever you want to call it. So now the Scottish Open is technically a tour sanctioned event, and there's another one I can't think of, like maybe the Dubai event or something. But so now there's no WGC Mexico, which is actually kind of a fun tournament and a good field, obviously. Now we have the Mexico Open, which is good to, they want to spread the game across the country, but it would help if they could get players to show the fuck up because this is the worst. Honestly, we talk about bad fields from time to time, and this is a symptom of the way the PGA Tour does business, like never taking a week off. Like it's going to kill them to take a week off. I know there's these guys on the bottom of the list are trying to make some money these weeks, but like, you don't have to have a tournament every fucking week. And this is what happens when you do. You get a field with Jon Rahm and no one else worth a shit.
Right.
And it's like, what are we doing here? I don't really understand the point of having this event.
Although I agree, I think the other side to that argument isn't crazy in the fact that they could just say, well, it is an off week. This is pretty much like an enhanced Corn Ferry event where somebody big can play.
Right.
So if you want an off week and you don't want to watch something that has a bad field, right? Like you don't really have to watch if you don't want to.
Watch. Yeah, that's a good argument.
So it's pretty simple. We're just going to at least give our guys a chance. These guys way down the board, sometimes they don't have a chance at all. You're going to see some guys in this field that you've never heard of before. Like a lot of fans would be like, who in the world is that? So, giving opportunities isn't the worst thing ever. Maybe a guy get a win. I mean, it's like Corrales where you got, Ramy got a win or whatever. So who knows? Maybe we'll get something like that this week. The hard part is trying to find the winner on the betting board. That's the hard part.
Awful. I mean, it is honestly going to be tough. What's your thoughts on Rahm just lapping everybody?
I think we should throw him out completely. I don't even think.
Is this Jon Rahm at Napa? Like I'm here, but
no, I don't.
Like he showed up to Napa before
the
Ryder Cup, and it was like pretty obvious. Like, hey, not really sure why I came to this event. I'm going to be gone Friday night.
I know Jon Rahm's not Mexican, but what part of this is him being a Spanish speaker?
He could be. I don't know. And maybe I don't know who's sponsoring this tournament, but maybe he has some sponsor things. He's also not played that good.
Right.
So maybe he's trying to like, all right, I'll go play and see if I can figure out what the fuck is going on with my game.
Also, if you look up the resort, this might be a family vacation.
That's what people were saying about Napa is like, why did you go to Napa? And it's like, have you been to Napa?
Yeah, have you
Like a
been
nice
there?
place, pretty nice place to go
Yeah.
and just hang out for 4 days or however long he was there. So,
Right.
if you bet John Rahm at like 3 or 4 to 1,
You're the craziest person ever.
I'll take the bet. Just pay. I'll give you 5 to 1. You can bet with me, and I'll take your fucking money because I don't see any reason he's like, unless he comes out and it's just like lights out on Thursday without like really trying, he's just gonna be like, yeah, cool, this is awesome vacation.
I can't remember the tweet and person. I feel bad because now I can't remember the name of the person, but they're showing the matchups that they offered on John Rahm's. It was like him versus Tony or him versus somebody else, and then it was him versus the entire field at 350 because that's his outright number. So you're just getting a matchup versus the entire field at 350. Imagine betting that. That's the craziest thing ever. I have no way to even comprehend how someone could bet that unless you just have some sort of weird inside scoop that John Rahm's like somehow told people that he's going to like actually try to win. I know he like said something about how his advice to young players was to come in and try to win. You know, that's we should compete all the time. But if it doesn't start going well, he ain't going to give a shit. He's going to go to the beach, hang out with his kid and his wife and do all that stuff.
Yeah, he's a non-factor for me. I'm not necessarily going to fade him in matchups because no one else is like even on the same.
No,
like not even the playing field. They're not even in the same sport as him most weeks. So I'm not going to try to do that. That's irresponsible. But
also, this is going to be a birdie fest, so it's going to bring
let's hop in and talk about the course here a little bit.
Yeah,
because we've never seen tour players on it. That's always a tough cap, no matter what. But being a resort course, certainly a few people have talked about playing there, being there. Sounds like the fairways are huge, and that the greens are huge and relatively flat. To me, that reads birdie, birdie, birdie. Now it's long, like really long. Par 71, 74, like 70, almost 7,500 yards. I know they've turned at least one par 5 into a par 4.
It's like fake long. It's like they turned a short course into long, right? Or a normal course into long. So it'll be interesting to see like what it looks like on TV. We won't get any shot. I'm sure we won't get shot link this week, which sucks. But
well, you never know. It's a national open technically,
right?
So.
But yeah, big fairways. These like fake bad misses, right? Where they say like, "Oh, don't hit it in those bunkers." Guess what? No tour players are hitting it in those bunkers. So all the balls are going to be riding up. It's going to be a super birdie fest, and you're going to see
which is also John Rahm hates. He doesn't want to play in a fucking putting contest birdie fest. Well, he said it out loud at tour events. Like
he hates it.
Just to go farther into the don't bet John Rahm, like just don't. There's no reason. But betting some guys, I'm going towards Bombers certainly. I think that it's going to play long enough that distance is going to be a definite. Distance is always an advantage, but when the fairways are huge, it's a big advantage. And then guys who can just go super low, who pop in these, kind of birdie fest events.
Right.
There's like a stretch in the like late summer, fall where it's like John Deere, Rocket Mortgage, Barbasol. There's all these. There's like 6 out of like 15 events that are all birdie fest, and it's like the same guys every week.
Right.
And it's like I want somebody who has proven they can just go dumb low.
Yeah, that fall swing, you starting to get into groove of who you're betting because it's all the same guys on the leaderboard every week. It's kind of funny. You're going to see a lot of similar names this week. The one thing I want to mention, though, was wind. I haven't seen that it's going to be something crazy, but wind definitely could play a factor, being that close to the ocean and being that long. Hitting long approaches into wind is obviously a bad recipe for making birdies. So if that were to become a factor, you could maybe see some pushback from the course from those types of conditions. Other than that, it'll be a lot of past palum birdies.
Yep. All right. Let's take a look at the odds board just for fun here.
Cameron Tringali at 20 to 1 is crazy.
Awful. I mean, you'll never see numbers like this. I mean, you will, but you won't. Like typically there's at least like a handful of mid-tier guys. There's basically, in my opinion, there's like 2. Kevin Na and Answer are like, and I guess Finau some weeks are like the mid-tier guys.
Right.
The 40 to 50 to 1 range most weeks. Well, now they're
Patrick
20.
Reed a couple years ago, but yeah.
Yeah, but you've also pushed down Woodland to 20. You've pushed down Tringali to 20, which is so stupid. I can't explain to you how much he doesn't win. Like, he never wins. He hasn't won. He won't win. Now he'll win this week. Now that I say that, but he's not winning, and that's a horrible number. So, like I said, not touching Rahm, not touching Tringali. I probably will bet Answer at 20 to 1. Little Mexican pride thing. He's better than like all these guys.
Super long. Are we sure that's going to play into him or no?
If it dries out, like if it's not like if the fairways are soft, that hurts him because he's going to hit a shitload of long irons. But look,
that's why I worry about him is guys just hitting it so far. And if hitting the fairway doesn't really matter that much, it's going to be hard for him to compete day after day.
Yeah, and I don't really know how his form is not 70th in my model.
Not great.
No, not great. Back-to-back missed cuts. Not a lot of great form before that. So, maybe Answer isn't the guy. That was kind of when I first looked at the board, though, it was like, I don't know, maybe this is a good get-right spot for him.
Right.
I don't hate Gary at 20. He's been playing good golf. I just have a hard time betting anybody at 20 when if you're in an offshore and they give you a field bet this week, this is the week for the field bet for sure. Would you bet anybody under 30?
No. I was honestly going to start at 60, but then now I see that Cameron Champ has moved to 45, so now I'm concerned.
So, I've seen Patrick Reed at 40.
Wait, we can't skip over Wise.
Wise was the guy that I wanted to bet, but at 30, I don't want to bet him.
Did you see my Tuesday names thread today? Wise was number 2 on like every single list. Like
he hits a car, he can make a ton of birdies.
Right. But 30's crazy, right?
Yeah, 30's stupid. 45, I would probably be more interested. Even 40 maybe, but
even
I'd rather bet.
I'd
rather bet Reed at. I'd rather bet Reed at 40. I've seen him at 40.
Okay.
Than Wise at 30. I mean, I at least know Reed's played better. He's won. He's played well at like resort type courses before.
Right.
I played good at like Corrales or whatever it was last fall. Mayakoba, I can't remember which one it was. Reed might be my favorite one under 50 because it's pretty grim to say the least.
Yeah, I struggle to do anything. Like I said, I was looking at Champ at 60. Now he's moved down to 45. Obviously, his bomber, whatever you call that, like the narrative around that has kind of taken off. CH3 at 60, I could talk myself into, but I don't love it. What about
Streelman at 60?
Yeah, I was going to say Streelman
played some pretty good golf. He's had some resort course success.
Right.
But, man, these guys, there's not a lot of form. You pull up
Russell Knox at 70.
You go look at Bamford's thing, and it's like, okay, Streelman had some good play. A few weeks ago, missed cut in his last start. I like Doug Gim, but like his form is really not that great either. You would think Thigala, his form is going the wrong way too. There's not a lot of players playing well because these guys aren't that good.
I think Knox at whatever number that was isn't terrible. If he's going to get a win, I mean, why wouldn't it be here in this little stretch of his where his ball striking is crazy? He was top 10 in my model. Although he doesn't hit it crazy far, he does gain off the tee. Like his driver's not bad.
I'd be worried about, like, if it's a birdie fest, he's going to have to make a lot of putts. And he does not make a lot of putts.
He does not do that. But I do like him using those irons. And I think he's hitting green. If he's hitting more greens, maybe you get lucky and you just get, you try to bet that pop. And if he putts even halfway decent and if he ball strikes like he does and putts halfway decent, he'll be up there. I mean, he'll make enough birdies to contend, but
right.
It's a matter of getting over the hump on that Saturday, Sunday push. That's kind of the hard part. Smotherman is not another name that's going to be.
Smotherman popped in my model. He's at 110. I saw.
I did strokes gained total easy. So easy conditions. It was Rom, Wise, Lanto, Doug Gim, who's kind of in that 70 range, I think.
I saw him at 55, but
he's really bumped up a little bit. 55. Buckley, Taylor Moore, who's also in this range at 70.
I don't mind Taylor Moore either.
Yeah, and then Michael Thompson, but I'm not betting Michael Thompson. So
I just looked, and Reed is at 26 and 28 at two other books.
Okay.
So if you can find him at 40, I like it. If not, move on.
Patrick Reed's also not a Birdie Fest guy, so
No, but he's done well at the resort course type of thing.
What about Pat Perez? Has he played recently?
He's the Prince of Paspalum, Pat Perez. He's played well this season. I don't know about super recently. Let's look here.
Oh, his driver looked like it was terrible at RBC. God damn.
Yeah, Perez hasn't been – he's made 4 of his last 5 cuts, but hasn't finished in a single top 30. I've seen people on Nate Lashley. I'm trying to find where he is on the –
This outright –
Lashley's been playing good golf, and he has proven he can just randomly pop and win tournaments. He's 150 to 1 on DraftKings. Like I mentioned earlier, Smotherman popped super high in my model, 110. Wyndham Clark at 100. I have no idea if he's playing good, but he will randomly pop. He hits it far. Lahiri's been playing good at 80. Obviously, you mentioned Lanto at 70.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
I don't like Hubbard at 70. If you can find him at like 90 or 100, he's been playing really good golf and has kind of flirted with winning a couple of times. So, he's like a first-round leader bet. Like, that dude will pop, randomly shoot 10 under and fade on the weekend. But I don't like him at 70, but I would like him if you can find him close to 100.
Should I bet the Corrales guy to win again? Should I bet? I've wasted so much money on Chad Ramey. I don't know if I should do it or not.
I don't know if Chad Ramey's going to win 2 out of his last 3 starts, but maybe he will. I don't know. Ben Martin, 200 to 1. He almost won the tournament that your guy Ramey won, or one of those.
Yeah, Molinax is a bomber too. He would be one you could put in there.
Molinax hits it far. Ben Coles hits it pretty far.
Yeah. Ben Coles, Jesus Christ.
This is a pretty grim situation. Honestly, if you can find a field bet it.
Dylan,
let's go look at the model for a little quick. So in my model, now this is not the end all be all by any means, but Smotherman, one of them that popped super high.
Yeah.
Lanto, like we talked about, his approach play has been good.
Munoz was at 25.
Yeah, you can't bet him at 25. He's not good enough to bet at 25. He is playing good golf though.
He might be like a matchup guy for me.
5 straight top 40s.
Yeah.
The putter is not doing him any favors, but it doesn't really ever. Hit
it far too.
He does hit it far.
Bramlett, he kind of popped in.
See, there's Lashley. He's been playing good. It's pretty grim. I'm looking at driving distance guys. Bramlett 125. Don't hate that. Dude can play. Hits it super far. What about Callum Tarrant? No, I'm out on Griot.
He's 150.
Uline, 3rd in driving distance. I think he's actually had a couple decent finishes this year too. 2 top 40s at Puerto Rico and Corrales. Other than that, he sucks.
Yeah, I would say stick to that 70 to 150 range. I don't really know where. Maybe even bump up even higher. Throw some darts. Honestly, you could talk me into not betting any outrights this week. I don't know what to do, but
I'd be careful. Yeah, be careful. I
would say we should not advise anyone to bet top 10s. Unless you can find some crazy number for somebody who think can contend but not actually pull the trigger on winning. I would say those markets are not what you should be looking into. I would look more into matchups and like top 20s and top 30s this week.
Is Finau going to win this like randomly, or he just like ball strikes his ass off and wins this?
Negative. There's too many putts you have to make.
Fact. Didn't he win Northern Trust when he had to make a whole bunch of birdies?
I don't know. That was better field though. This is
and his first career win was a
was it a birdie?
I think
fest?
it was it was a resort course win.
Oh, yeah, just go by there.
Puerto Rico.
Maybe he will. Maybe we should be betting Tony Finau. I got a Tony Finau Abe Answer matchup here if you'd like it.
Finau's been definitely playing better than Abe Answer, but not great. I mean, look at the putting numbers are terrible. But okay, outright wise, I would say be really careful. Do not blow your load on the outright market this week. If you like I like Patrick Reed and I like Aaron Wise at like 40. If I can find him at 40, I'll bet both those guys at 40. Other than that, it's like 60 to 300.
Yeah, I would say more so. My thoughts are that Streelman number.
Yeah.
I think he's up. 60. And then I also like Perez at 70. There's like a handful of guys in this little.
Perez, I don't mind Taylor Moore. Like I said, Hubbard has been playing very good. Lahiri's been playing good. Wyndham Clark bombs it and like randomly pops. He could win.
This is
Poston at 100. Do not like. I hate JT Poston, but like he actually popped the other day and can putt basically as good as anybody in this field. Smotherman, super high in the model. I will definitely be betting him just purely based on that and the fact that he's 110 to 1. But I don't have a lot of like really great insights because we don't know what the hell is coming out of the bag with these guys on a week-to-week basis most of the time anyway.
Yeah, a lot of those names we just talked about are going to be – we can kind of flow into top 20s here because that's kind of where we're going to have – that's probably like the population of names we'll be looking at.
Right.
Like a Russell Knox 275 is something I'm interested in. I got that pulled up right here. Streelman at 250, right? You compare those numbers with the top 20 just for a little insurance. Patrick Reed is 2-1 if you think he's going to play well and compete in the field. I mean, you can get some value out of these top 20s. Smotherman at 350.
This is where I would play Hubbard probably.
Yeah.
275. He's been playing super good.
Oh, Smalley. I liked him too. I forgot about him.
Lanto. Bramlett. I don't know. What do you – I mean, this is a stupid question, but do you have a Kurt Kitayama opinion?
No, didn't he just hit it far, right?
Yeah. He got third at Honda, like out of nowhere. And then backed it up with a 28th at Puerto Rico. Missed 2 cuts since then.
I remember right. He hit some bad shots coming in, though, right? Didn't he at Honda? Didn't he kind of like throw it away a little bit? Or no?
A little bit, I think.
It was pouring down rain, though, I think. Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm trying to look at every single person that hits it far and just kind of – he has a couple good Puerto Rico finishes, but, what are you going to do?
Smalley has average driving difference is 305, and he got second at Corrales. That was my argument for him. And he popped 28th in my model, so maybe that's a top 30 on him.
Stallball hits it really far. The short game is very good. Scott Stallings.
John Rahm hits it far.
John Rahm, Tony Finau hits it far.
Yeah.
Stallings has 2 top 20s his last 3 starts.
He's gonna be doing so many before this week. Holy shit!
He's a 2-time winner on tour, unlike a lot of these guys. He's got good finishes at a bunch of Birdie Fest events. Obviously, he's been around forever. Good Bermuda finish.
Yeah, that's like the Bramlett, Wyndham Clark group. That kind of stuff.
Yeah, just grab the bombers and hope the putter shows up type of week type, thing.
And then you got to pick those older guys like the Perez Streelman group I was talking about, those guys who have played in the events like this before and know they can compete well, right? So it's like, hey, I can get a big paycheck if I play well here.
Yeah, Peter Uline, another guy that hits it far. Let's look at some matchups.
I think I might have a billion matchups this week. Like that might be like my.
This is a week where like your model is probably going to point to quite a few matchups. I would.
You just do them all and then pick them. Like that's we did that one week and did pretty well. I mean, it's like
yeah, and this event is so hard because A, we don't know the course. B, like these guys, like the majority of this field are the most inconsistent players on tour.
Right.
Like, so they are the guys that you don't know what is going to happen. Right. So, you may get screwed on a couple where your guy does what he does and bombs out on Friday, but these are volatile players to say the least, especially when you put them on a course where it's just like, hey, go make fucking birdies. Like some guys like that, some guys don't.
Right.
And it can get kind of weird. Taylor Moore over Grayson Sigg. I prefer Taylor Moore as the underdog here. He hits it a lot farther. Grayson Sigg's more of a bunter putter guy.
Some of these guys.
Oh, Munoz over Tringali.
Munoz 105. I know he's not bad.
Tringali's trending a little bit better, but Kevin Na is just significantly better than Tringali, and he's the underdog for some reason in that.
Oh, Adam Long. There's a plus 100 against there's an even bet against CT Pan. Adam Long was number 1 in strokes gained past Palom last 12 rounds.
Yeah, he should have won that one of those events last fall. I can't remember what it was.
So maybe you kind of play that card. If you go to his top finishes, he got 5th at a Corrales in 2020. He's finished 11th back-to-back years at the Houston Open, which I know Houston is not in Mexico, but it's about as close as you can get from, I guess, maybe San Diego. But, right, it's down that direction. And he obviously he got 22nd at Mayakoba, right? Like, I mean, this is Mayakoba. Can we just look at the Mayakoba records? Or no, the course doesn't match up. I guess the length is probably going to separate it. But,
Yeah, that is different. To me, it's like it's South Rocket Mortgage. It's like you got to hit it far and make a shitload of birdies, and it's like
the bad field that Bryson wins.
Yeah, or Matt Wolff almost wins, that type of thing. It's like just show up, hit it far, and hope to God your putter shows up.
Yeah, maybe Cam Champ is the play, although I'm not really sure I'm going to get down with the 45.
No. Cam Champ's he does good when the driver gets taken out of his hand. When it's like, hey, here's a short course. You need to hit it 260 to this corner. And he gets to hit a fucking iron, and everyone else has to hit a 3-wood. And it's like, oh, my God.
But if the landing spots are so wide, like maybe he can
really – true. Yeah, it is true. He can just unleash every hole. That would be kind of fun to watch. Nothing else. FanDuel doesn't even have matchups up. Kind of don't blame him, but are you looking at Rivers?
Yes, I'm looking at Rivers right now. There was some interesting one. Champ over Thigala. They're the same at 114.
Interesting.
Lanto is a dog to Mark Hubbard. Don't hate that. I mean, I know you mentioned Mark Hubbard, but Mark Hubbard could easily finish like 120th.
He could first round leader and miss MC. So.
CH3 versus Russell Knox. They're both minus 114. Those guys are like, I don't even know who you pick. I guess you just pick Russell Knox. I don't know.
Svensson over Nick Taylor.
Yes, Munoz over Chris Kirk. They're both minus 114 also. I like Munoz better in that matchup just for like a higher ceiling.
Yep.
Or a higher floor, I mean, right? Like you get a little more insurance with – or a little bit more like you kind of sleep a little better with Munoz. Not really, but maybe.
I don't know about that.
He's going to shoot $1 billion over now that I said that.
Oh, man.
Tony Finau is the dog to Aaron Wise. If you're going to, like, play the Tony Finau route, like, you might as well take that.
I feel like I know what I'm getting more with Tony Finau than I do with Aaron Wise. That has more to do with Wise than it does with Finau. But
if it's true that you can just rip drivers, Tony's going to have a chance. I mean, he's going to hit it so far every time.
Yeah. Last 24 rounds past Palom. Lahiri is on there. Definitely be playing him. Poston is on there. I mentioned him already. Champ. Lashley.
Yeah.
Gary might just win this. He's been playing good golf in this course. If he can just nuke driver out there. And then it's just a bunch of guys who suck because no one plays these events, but guys who suck.
I'd like to bet Gary at like 50 or 60, not 20. So
seriously,
that probably won't make it on the Grants card.
No, it will not make it on mine either. What do you think winning score? If you take a guess. Over under 20.
Oh, I was going to say like 22 or 23.
Yeah, same. I was going to say 23 to 25. Unless it gets windy for some reason.
Yeah, even if one day gets windy, like guys can still shoot low if they go out early. Like there's going to be so many. Yeah, I still think it's going to be over 20.
Well, maybe not the most insightful show we've ever done, but this is the most crapshoot event I think we'll have in terms of A, we don't know the course. B, it's filled with players who you don't know what the hell's coming out.
Yeah, we've never even seen the course. This is like, if you look at it online, you can't even look at like a flyover. Like it's just a picture on the website of like one hole. That's it. So we don't know anything about it besides that it supposedly has huge fairways, and they've extended it by a bunch of yards and cut down a couple of the par five, or cut them down into par fours to make it longer. Like that's all we know. So if you watch these events, especially in the fall enough, you know that this course is going to get absolutely murdered. It happens in all of these events. So I would just be ready for that. And maybe you just pick guys who can make birdies, right? Like maybe we go that route and we do
so
guys who can go low.
Let's see here. I'll do a little quick sort in the old model.
I think I had birdies are better on mine. I can just do that.
Same.
I don't want last 50 though.
So Howell, Ramey.
Yeah, Woodland. CH3. I like CH3.
Munoz. Lanto's pretty high up there. Svensson, pretty high up there. Smotherman's relatively high up there.
Aaron Rye, what happened? Why he missed the cut at Corrales? Like that's not good. Maybe we should be betting against Aaron Rye. Didn't David Lipsky play well last week in the thing?
I honestly couldn't tell you.
He got top 10 at Corrales.
I think he did play well last week.
Yeah, and he got top 10 at Corrales. So I don't hate that either. He's not going to win, but maybe he played like a matchup or something.
Lipsky got fourth last week.
Well, there you go.
Taylor, he played with Taylor Moore or Aaron Rye. Looks like they both also finished fourth last week.
Oh, him and Rye?
Yeah. I'm not gonna proclaim the best bet. I am just gonna mention my favorite outrights. If you're going closer to the top, is Reed and Wise. If you can find them closer to 40.
You're not gonna do it, huh?
No, I do very much like Mark Hubbard. He is playing basically as good as anybody in this field. He's not as good as most people in this field, but he's playing very well.
I want to do a best bet matchup just because I want to keep that going. I don't know. They'll have to wait till I put it out. I'll have to wait. I'm gonna have to go through my model and just start to do these and just take emotion out of it and just bet the guys it says to bet.
Yeah, probably the best way to do it in this type of thing. I don't know. It's seriously a crapshoot. Are you going to stick with margins, or are you going to get kind of wacky?
No, I'm pissed after last week after going away from 1-2. So I'm going to go back and just say that but now I'm chasing my tail, which sucks because now I'm going back, and if it switches back on me, then I look like a fucking idiot. So, but I stayed true to the margins. I can't take them out. I'm going 1-2. I'm shut my eyes and I'm going to bet them. It's going to be 250, 350, and we got to get back on track because last week was bullshit.
Okay, that's enough of Mexico Open.
Basketball.
Good luck. I bitched on this show last week, and I believe the week before that I felt like I was going to get screwed on my John Morant 30-1 bet. I don't know that I would have. And here's the thing: it cashed. I'm super happy. Like, I was really high on the Grizzlies and Morant before the season started, so I'll take my pat on the back there.
Yes.
I don't know that I would have voted him most improved necessarily after he missed the end of the season. So it's kind of like, can I be mad? But if he wouldn't have won, maybe. He took the hardest jump, in my opinion. He, like, jumping from, like, oh, you're really good, like, borderline all-star, to, like, holy shit, you're carrying your team to 50 wins. That's a hard jump to make. And he scored, like, 8 more points, shot way better from the field.
Yeah. So I went back and looked last night. I went and looked at our sheet that we made. He was higher than our predictions. Or not our predictions.
Not on the assists and rebounds, though.
Right, but he was, like, points over.
Yes. Points. He scored more. It always kind of points to guys on good teams. I think I might have bet Poole if I was up to me.
Yeah. Poole, yeah. He's not a bad one.
Like, he was kind of starting to show it, but, like, he, like, became, like, a winning player. Like, super score winning player.
He became, like, he might be more valuable than Clay right now. Player.
He's like a mix of Steph and Clay. Like, he's not as good as either of them in, like, their primes, but, like, he moves like Steph but shoots like Clay in the sense, like, I don't know, it's just really strange. It's cool to watch. It's fun to watch. Clay's like kind of showing some signs of life. So they are dangerous, to say the least. And the Pels have the Suns up against the ropes, to say the least, in that series. So shit could get weird out west. Luka, healthy Luka might just be able to just.
Yeah, so we have that bet knocked down, and now it's going to get beat because he's just going to smoke him by himself. Him and Brunson are just going to – they're playing Rudy off the floor. I don't know if you watched any of that game last night, though, but, like, they're just trading threes for twos. And it was like, dude, this is –
and none of their guards none of their guards can stay in front. And it's like Rudy has no fucking chance, even if he, was playing better. But if Brunson plays, like, good like this and Luka goes on a Luka rampage, none of these teams left have anybody that can hang. I mean, the Suns, obviously, but if the Suns somehow get knocked out, the Pelicans, the Heat will just run rampant through the Pelicans.
Yeah, I mean, it'll turn into like a Steph versus Luka thing. And we'll see.
Warriors play Grizzlies if they win.
Oh, you think that they could win that series?
Well, it's 2-3. Matt, like, the Grizzlies are the 2 and the Mavs are the 3. So if they both win, they play each other. If the Mavs win, they play the Suns because they're the 4.
Right, I'm saying both of them. I would say they would meet after that.
Yeah.
I would have, well, unless Booker still has a little time though, right? So I think he would win that. All
I'm saying is the Mavs are dangerous as fuck.
Right.
The rest of their team ain't that good, but, like, Luka can carry your ass.
Toronto. It seems as if the Sixers are just pooping their pants.
I don't know what the hell's going on. They should just wrap it up, dude. Like,
Embiid's got the hand thing, so I don't really know what his deal is. If it's
Harden has, like, no, like, burst, energy, bounce, nothing. Yeah. No. He just looks slow and fat and not that good.
Miami's playing tonight without Jimmy Butler, so personally,
and no Lowry, right?
Yeah, and being a Miami fan, I hope that it turns into like a them versus Celtics showdown. We'll see how that goes because I think the Celtics will beat the Bucks because they have too many bodies without Chris out there. They're gonna throw 4 guys at Giannis. They have like actual guys who can guard him. And if Middleton, if they have another wing who's out, how are they going to score points? That's why I'm worried about with them.
I think the Celtics will beat them.
Yeah,
Celtics defense is like pretty much the best defense in the league. And they have the exact guys that you want to guard Giannis.
Right.
And unless Giannis is going to pick up Tatum like most of the game, like they don't have no Chris. Drew can guard him all he wants. Tatum has like 7 inches on him. He will shoot right over him.
Right.
I think they're going to win, and I honestly do think it's going to be Celtics Miami. Miami seems like, hey, we'll just see if we can get Butler and Lowry good for the next series. We'll take care of business tonight. Max Strus has 12 points. Oladipo has 13 points. They started both of them and Gabe Vincent, and they're beating the Hawks. So
the Spo Magic.
Yeah, they have, and that's the other thing. Heat have the best coach.
Well, let's look at futures real quick before we sign off, because I think Warriors Celtics is the favorite.
Probably should be, in terms of they have no injuries. Everyone else has injuries.
Right.
Warriors are the favorite to win the title, which I think is probably not. Celtics plus 370 is not the worst odds in the world.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I don't hate Miami at 6 either. What about the Mavs at 16?
I'd rather bet them to win the conference at
just in case
6.
they run into the Celtics and the defense takes over.
Yeah, I mean Tatum and Brown it's similar to, it's like the last 2 years Luka's lost in the playoffs to the Clippers, and it's like, well, why can't they get out of the first round? It's like, well, that's the absolute worst matchup. There's 2 guys at all times to guard him, make him work.
Right.
He's torched their ass both times, and they easily could have won those series, but that's basically a worst version of that, like a young version of that Clippers team.
Although that's true, there's 2 other teams in the East who have a legit chance at coming out, right? So it's kind of hard.
Definitely.
It's hard to, yeah. So
I don't know that their secondary guys are good enough yet.
Yeah.
I do think they could make the finals if Luka just like kind of has his way and Booker's not 100%.
Yeah. They're 6-1. I don't hate that. I might join. I might bet that.
Yeah. You can throw those bottom 4 out. None of those guys are making it. In my opinion, you can throw the Grizzlies out. They're a great story, but like I don't think they're going to the finals. They're having trouble with the Timberwolves. I don't think they're going to the finals. The Suns, if Booker comes back and he's like healthy, that's a decent number considering it was like even odds.
They'll probably beat them based on just defense and being able to score with Booker back. It'd be a long series though. So you never know. I don't know. I'm okay with the Mavs at 6. I mean, I know we said to bet it in 7, which still could happen, by the way. That's not like totally out of the picture, especially if Donovan plays well next game. But yeah, I would maybe even jump on the 6-1 because you never know. Here in a week or 2 weeks, that number might be more like 150 or 2.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
If they get a Suns team with no Booker,
they got a chance.
They have a chance for sure.
I don't see the
Shaden Sharp's 100-1 now. Bet him at 200-1 a few weeks ago. I assume that was Gavoni's tweet that caused the odds drop.
He honestly reminded me of Donovan Mitchell in that video. That's what he kind of looked like. He kind of looked like
but like 2 or 3 inches taller.
Yeah, he's like 6'6", I think. Yeah.
He's like a freak.
What of those top guys could be a star in the NBA? Can Chet be a number 1 player on a good team?
No, cannot create enough offense himself.
And Banchero can? Probably not, right?
Probably not. I don't think any of those guys are like.
Murray Smith probably can't either, right?
No.
So
he has the highest upside, in my opinion. He has the highest upside because he can just he has the Edwards type of I can just score all the points.
Right.
Jabari and Banchero can definitely score, but it's it's because they're tall. If they were 6'6", I don't know how good they'd be good, but I don't know.
It's easy to say off a Twitter video. I get it. We haven't seen him play in real games. But if you take him in a in a workout and you see him just clown guys, it'd be hard to pass him up. If you need a guy, if you're the Magic and you need a player like that, why wouldn't you consider him?
Yeah, what if you're the Magic, you get the number 1 pick, and he comes in and Jonathan Isaac and him play one-on-one, and he doesn't have Isaac looks like hopeless, and this kid's like 18, and you're like, oh fuck,
right? So,
or you're the Pistons, and Sadiq Bey comes in and is just like has no chance, and it's like what? Well, this seems like obvious. Right. We've already got our like big wing passer guy. We need scoring, dude.
Right. So you're gonna draft one of these guys and then just have Sadiq Bey 2.0, just a little bit better, more athletic, like.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think this is one of those drafts that because there's no clear number 1. Now, Jabari is even money. It's team dependent.
Right.
It is definitely team dependent. Like the fucking Magic do not need Jabari Smith. Now they would argue, oh well, he's good enough, maybe, but like they need a point guard. They drafted Jalen Suggs and it did not. It's not working. They need a guard who can score and pass.
Well, yeah, I mean, they need every position, but yeah.
Yeah, but like Franz looks pretty good. Right. Wendell looks pretty good. If Isaac is healthy, he's pretty good.
Yeah, that's true.
Why do I need another 6'10" guy who's pretty good at scoring?
Yeah, who's going to complement our other role players? The role players for the role players.
I need a star.
I get it.
All right. Well, we'll be back next week. What's on the schedule for PGA Tour next week? Can we get a real event? Isn't it
Wells Fargo, right?
Yeah, Wells Fargo.
I think
Wells Fargo. I think Rory's the defending champ.
We got no F1 this week, but we're coming to the United States the week after in Miami, which will be really fun to watch. I think both of us are going to the Cardinal game this weekend, so that'll be cool. Hopefully it doesn't rain the whole time. It looks like it might rain.
I'm going Sunday, though.
Yeah.
Supposed to be nice Sunday.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Maybe it gets pushed back into you. But I don't know. I don't have a ton of thoughts. I'd say bet Streelman. That's my suggestion, and pick out some matchups off of some narratives that you think will play on this, whether that's being a bomber, whether that's being a guy who can make a ton of birdies, whether that's betting guys who play well in these resort-style events, right? Like pick something like that you believe in. Go find matchups. Go find big numbers and bet it. That's it.
There's a few guys that are trending in the right direction out there. Find the guys, bombers, guys who are trending a little bit, resort course guys. That would be my main piece of advice.
Before you bet John Rahm, tweet at us and we'll Venmo you. Like we'll send
you. You can bet me at 5-1. Better than you're gonna find anywhere else. Yeah. Good luck. Peace out.
See ya.